So this story is actually going to be an update story. So if you guys have not heard, I have trouble trying to pronounce his last name. I'll probably mess it up again. But the little boy in this story, his name is Daniel Escamia. Escamia. It's Escamia. I keep wanting to pronounce it in a different way just because I just have trouble saying it. But nonetheless, let me give you guys a disclaimer about my content first. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I'm getting this story from ABC13.com. So thank you for the article. And this is Wharton County, Texas. Of course, Texas took a huge L for the story to begin with. The fools that you guys see on my screen is who we're going to be talking about. So Daniel Escamia. A Wharton County mother was sentenced to 45 years in prison for the murder of her 2-year-old son. Daniel Escamia had injuries all over his body and severe head trauma when he died in May of 2022, according to Wharton County Sheriff's Office. His mother, by the name of Rebecca Lynn Hart, who y'all saw her on the screen a second ago, was initially charged with capital murder, which could have got you the death penalty. Definitely life in prison. On Thursday, Hart pled guilty to murder and waived her right to an appeal before she was sentenced to 45 years in prison, so she got a lesser deal. I don't feel that that's enough. I really don't feel that's enough. As much pain as Daniel, received from her, that's not enough, according to Judy O'Connor's, Daniel's great aunt. According to the Texas Department of Family Protective Services Child Fatality Report, Daniel endured continuous physical abuse. On the day he died, the report said that the toddler had unexplained injuries all over his body. And I want y'all to look at this baby's face and ask yourself, how can anybody have a hateful bone in their body when you see a face like this, when you see a smile like this? That's the kind of smile that you will want to make sure that this baby has that smile forever. Like, why would anybody want to hurt this baby at all? I just think that if you could hurt a child or any child, I just think that you're just not a good human being and you're going straight to hell. That's what I think. Investigators also confirmed that he had not been fed. Sounds like he might have been starved too. And thank you for you guys who are subscribing over there. Thank you for doing that. He had not been fed and was forced to sleep in a closet by himself in his filthy home near El Campo. O'Connor's believe that Hart got off easy. They should have had a trial. Daniel deserves a trial, she said, and I wanted life without parole, which that's what we all wanted. But that's also part of making these agreements so they don't have to have that. Wharton County First Assistant District Attorney Mark Racer told ABC 13 he understand O'Connor's position, but said that they wanted to resolve this case. With no option to appeal, it is now final. It's not a perfect system, but I think we got a very just result in this case. She's going to spend a significant amount of time in prison, Racer said. Hart will be eligible for parole in 22 and a half years. Daniel's father, Eddie Escamia, was also charged with endangerment of a child with bodily injury. His case is still pending, and I think that he deserves just as much time in prison. I think he deserves just as much time in prison. Do me a favor, and if you guys would, do me a favor and leave a comment in the comment section, hit that thumbs up, and let me know what you guys think. We get to the news videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I only got maybe one news video here, so y'all do me a favor and click that thumbs up and let me know what you think. Let me get that up here real quick. It'll only take me a second. All right, here we go.
In prison for the murder of her 2-year-old son. Daniel Escamia had bruises all over his body and severe brain and head injuries when he died in 2022, investigators said. Today, his mother pleaded guilty at the Wharton County Courthouse. That's where we find ABC 13's Jessica Willey. Jessica?
Yeah, Rebecca Linhart went before a judge today here at the Wharton County Courthouse. She pleaded guilty, waived her right to appeal, and was sentenced to 45 years in prison. One of the little boy's family members tells me for what he endured, that's not enough.
I love that little boy.
With his big smile, Daniel Escamia brought joy to Judy Okanya's days.
He was a beautiful boy. He was just a happy boy.
Daniel lived with her, his great aunt, for 5 months before he was a year old. His murder in May of 2022 has been devastating.
It's like a nightmare to me.
And she expected justice to look different.
I don't feel that's enough. I really don't feel that's enough. As much as pain that he had received from her, that's just not enough.
Daniel's mother, Rebecca Linhart, initially charged with capital murder, pleaded guilty Thursday to murder and was sentenced to 45 years in prison. Daniel's autopsy showed extensive head trauma and continued physical abuse. According to the Wharton County Sheriff's Office, the child fatality report said Daniel had unexplained injuries all over his body, and investigators confirmed the toddler had not been fed and was forced to sleep in a closet by himself in his filthy home near El Campo.
They should have had a trial. Daniel deserves a trial. He really does. That little boy deserves a trial.
I totally understand that feeling.
Mark Racer is the first assistant district attorney. He said they wanted to resolve this case and points out as part of the deal, Hart waived her right to an appeal.
It's not a perfect system, but I think we got a very just result in this case. He's going to spend a significant amount of time in prison.
Hart will be eligible for parole in 22 years. Daniel's father, Eddie Escamia, was also charged with child endangerment. His case is still pending. Judy says the two people who were supposed to protect Daniel did not, and it hurts.
It kills me inside. It really does.
Jessica Willey, ABC 13 Eyewitness News. Department of Family and Protective Services released their child fatality report on Daniel Escamia. It details the state's investigations throughout the toddler's short life, their very first investigation at his birth.
He's just a baby. He was not my baby, but he was like my baby.
Extended family members were devastated by 2-year-old Daniel Escamia's death. Beaten at his home in May, according to the Wharton County Sheriff's Office, his little body enduring continuous physical abuse. His mother, Rebecca Linhart, in jail, charged with capital murder. His father, Eddie Escamia, with child endangerment with bodily injury. This new report describes the relentless abuse.
How heartbreaking. And there were multiple chances to potentially save this child, and that's not what happened.
According to the Department of Family and Protective Services child fatality report, Daniel's young life was dotted with abuse and neglect investigations, the first one coming right after he was born. The department confirmed a March 13th, 2020 allegation of neglect after the baby tested positive for drugs. A year later, in March and April of 2021, allegations of physical abuse and neglect. They were neither substantiated. March 13th, abuse and neglect investigations, the first one coming right after he was born. The department confirmed a March 13th, 2020 allegation of neglect after the baby tested positive for drugs. A year later, in March and April of 2021, allegations of physical abuse and neglect. They were neither substantiated nor disproven, but on April 27th of this year, the risk assessment for Daniel and his two siblings was high. 2 weeks later, on May 9th, he would be dead.
The other thing
Caroline Roberts, the senior staff attorney for child advocacy group Children at Risk on CPS.
They are understaffed, underfunded. They need more support. But that said, with that high priority, you would want more attention and support to be provided to these children.
According to the report, on the day of his death, Daniel had unexplained injuries all over his body. The department confirmed he had not been fed and was forced to sleep in a closet by himself in his filthy home near El Campo. His brother and sister were removed. Previously, the parents were given family-based safety services. Two people who were supposed to protect Daniel did not, investigators say. Roberts urges any adult who suspects abuse to keep reporting.
You have to be a voice for the helpless.
It's just a very, very strange case. And again, since both of these people are complicit, I'm asking that they get the equal sentence. So if she got 45 years, he should get 45 years. I don't think he should get more or less than her, because this was her, she perpetuated quite a bit of this. But it's just really disgusting that you got human beings that couldn't see the value in life. And I don't think that I agree with everybody that said that she should have got life in prison. I 100% agree with you guys. That is a loophole in the law. 22 and a half years, 45 years. I think she should have gotten the full 45 years. That's what I think. But nonetheless, RIP to Daniel, and to this fool right here. All we can hope is that he gets a full sentence. But he's probably going to follow suit, and he's probably going to end up getting 45 years. But let me know what you guys think about this. We're really winding down and about to get a final conclusion to this story, okay? But thank you guys so much who have followed this story for all these years. It takes this long for us to finally get justice. But thank you for listening.